came, and they are powerful, and they are walking in their purpose today. And we're going to ask those honorees to please come closer to the stage for the sake of time, so that we can keep it brief. Before we do that and start the honoring, we're going to bring the lady who put this whole thing together, the fabulous Miss Lorraine Bailey Carter. That's right, give it up for her. And she's being accompanied by Miss Tia Timpson, who is a former honoree. So let's get Tia, come on up. Tia Timpson. This young lady just came back from a trip to Africa. Yeah, she's doing it big, y'all. So I'm going to let Lorraine say a few words before we get started with calling our honorees down.
Good evening. Thank you all so much for coming out for this evening. Yeah, that's me, I'm Lorraine. We do this for our ladies. We got a lot of ladies in here. And guess what? Tonight we're honoring those women who have the voice. They speak for us when we won't speak for ourselves. I mean, they've been through some very traumatic experiences in their lives. And be it traumatic as in emotional and or medical, they really do pave the way for us. They help to make the laws, they tell the doctors, like Miss Tia here, who goes to the doctor and kind of tell him what to do. That's Miss Tia. If you know Tia, you know that's Tia. But at any rate, we want to just talk about those women who have been through domestic violence, who have been through sexual abuse, lupus, we have some renal failures, we have several different types of breast cancers. And tonight we're going to touch on a few of those. And also for our little miss, we have a sickle cell anemia survivor. She's living it every day. She's living it. With a smile on her face, absolutely with a smile on her face. One of the most beautiful, heartwarming smiles there is. And her mom, who's taken to the waves and said, look, something needs to happen about this. Y'all need to make it right. We need to test people. We need to do things about sickle cell anemia because we don't know. So these ladies are the voice. They are our voice. And tonight, I do want to preface, we're missing two of our honorees. One was in a car accident, sadly enough, so please keep her in your prayers. I don't have a lot of information about it, but I do want to say lift her because she was being crowned our Miss Women's Challenge. So she's not here to receive that honor tonight, but certainly we do want to keep her in our prayers. So what I'm going to do is, Tia and I are going to call out their awards for tonight. So we're going to call each lady up one by one, and we're going to give them their awards. We have several awards from several different politicians in and around the DMV, and we want to, again, just thank them for the marvelous work that they do, because they really are the voice. Because sometimes when you are, like Miss Mia, she's a sexual assault victim, a domestic violence victim, and think about it, have you ever been placed in hospice? Has anyone ever told you that you were going to die and put you in hospice and gave you days to live? Exactly. That's why she's Miss Women's Challenge 2015-16. Because she fought. She fought. There was a nurse on the wing that knew about a trial, a study that was going on, and they put her in that study. But get this, each application she needed, she suffers from ovarian cancer, $48,000. I know I got it in my purse, and I'm sure you do too. $48,000, and she needed 10 rounds. $480,000. And when I tell you about the voice, she became the voice. Not only does she advocate for ovarian cancer, she also advocates for all cancers. If you follow us on any of the social media waves, last week there was an 8-year-old girl who died. Cancer. Mia was right there with her. 8 years old. So she is the voice for not just ovarian, but all cancer. She is always somewhere doing something for someone, helping some family, try to, just make it work right. Help them overcome, help them understand, and help them find funds. And that's what we do. Here at the Women's Challenge, you wonder, what is it that you do? What we try to do, and with nights like tonight, when we have support, we try to help our honorees do what they do. If they're starting their foundation, or if it's just an initiative and they need financial assistance, we need finances to help them with their finances. So that's what we do. And why do we use music? Everything we do, there's always music. But why? Because music what? Music heals. Absolutely. So for those that didn't know, that's why we do what we do. Because music absolutely heals. So, okay, I'm gonna hush. All right, Miss Tia.
First of all, thank you all for coming out tonight. My name is Tia Timpson. I'm a 25-year-old stroke survivor. I suffered a massive stroke in 2010 at the age of 20 during my sophomore year in college. Doctors didn't know I was having a stroke. They didn't recognize my symptoms as stroke warning signs. Nobody knew what was happening to me. At 20 years old, I was in the hospital. Doctors didn't know what to do. I lost a lot of time. I was misdiagnosed. I went to multiple hospitals. The stroke paralyzed the entire left side of my body. I spent my 21st birthday in a wheelchair. I'm thankful each day to God that I'm even able to walk again. When I first got sick, I had no idea why I had to go through that. While my friends were preparing to walk the stage for college, I was just praying every day, dear God, please allow me to even walk again. I had no idea who to turn to. My friends, of course, weren't experiencing stroke. They didn't know what a stroke was either. Can you hear me? Yes. So there was just this void that was there. They didn't really know how to fill it. But then the Women's Challenge came to me and said they wanted to honor me for my medical testimony, and I was able to meet so many powerful other women that were experiencing similar things. And it just surrounded me with this cloud of love. It just made me feel like I mattered. It made me feel like, there was someone else out there. I didn't have to fight this alone. So I feel like each year the bond between the honorees just grows stronger. And we just really just comfort and love each other because we all know what it's like to be there, fighting, crying for our lives. And it's very difficult for me to stand here tonight because I recovered so much, but I got to the point where I just realized I was complaining too much. With the little bit that I have, I still found time to complain. I was at work maybe just a few Mondays ago, and I said, this is the worst Monday ever. It's slow. I'm in accounting, I want to keep busy. It's slow. Me and my coworkers were complaining, this is the worst Monday ever. I complained all Monday. Later that night, I go home and found out that one of our honorees, Miss Marlene, passed away. I thought about the Monday Miss Marlene had and how she was there for me. She was one of my co-honorees. She was there on the stage with me last time I was here, but Miss Marlene fought to the very end, and because we had the Women's Challenge here to bring us all together, it made us survivor sisters. And it's such an important event for us to be here tonight and just to be able to comfort and love each other despite our conditions. So I thank you all for coming tonight. It's really meaningful.
So what we're going to do is we have accumulated a few citations from the Baltimore City governmental offices for each of our honorees. And Tia's going to read one, and I'm going to read the other, and Sharice's going to read one. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask each of the honorees to come to the stage. And we have one honoree that will not be able to come to the stage, but she will stand by and we will go down and surround her as we read her awards. So the first honoree that we're going to call is Stacy Pine. Stacy just say a few words about her condition.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for everyone coming out to support all of the ladies, all the honorees tonight. I am a 17-year survivor of lupus, SLE. And it has been a varying journey over the last 17 years of how I found out, and each day is a different day, and I have contracted different other diseases along with lupus. Now I have victory over pulmonary hypertension that came along with it. I had it in my kidneys, which the Lord healed several years ago. But each day is a different day, and I try not to let people see what I'm going through. I've had to deal with a lot of scarring, which tonight is a special night that I wore my arms out. But that's my testimony. With my scars, family, everybody knows that I hate my arms out because of the scars, and how it has changed my life and my standard of living. So I'm getting used to that each and every day. So, and I thank God for the support that is here for me tonight as well. Thank you.
Wonder when you came in the lobby, you saw ladies who were draped in their awareness colors. It's because God still says you're beautiful. You're beautiful because this is the body He gave you. It's the skin that you're made in. And also because He wants you to be a testimony for those that are yet to come behind you. They have to see that it's okay to have those scars, but they're still good beauty marks. They're just His beauty marks. So next we have Miss Angela Ward.
Everyone. I am Angela D. Warrington, and I am a two-time survivor of sexual violence. Once at the age of 14, where a family friend was attempting to groom me for sex trafficking, and then again at the age of 24, where I was raped in the woods at gunpoint, and where I thought I was going to die. But we serve a good God. He sits high and He looks low. And God said, no. You shall not die, you shall live, because there is work that I have for you to do. So then God gave me the vision to start the organization called Phoenix Ministries. And we are a Christian-based nonprofit organization that provides a pathway to healing for women sexual assault survivors. Because I know what it feels like to be suicidal. I know what it feels like to be depressed. I know what it feels like to have low self-esteem. And if I can help a young lady, a more seasoned lady, not make some of the mistakes that I made, then I'm going to do that, because that's what God has called me to do. So I'm so honored to be here on tonight. And I thank the Women's Challenge for honoring us on tonight and for recognizing the work that we do in Baltimore and in Maryland. Thank you.
Okay, next we have Miss Demetra Sorden-Vera. And of course you know what she's representing with all that pink on.
Good evening, everyone. How y'all doing? I am Demetra Sorden-Vera. I'm Demetra Sorden-Vera, and I stand before you, not a victim, but I'm a survivor of breast cancer. Back in 2012, as we speak on Halloween, the doctor said, you have breast cancer. To me, that was my death sentence at that moment. I couldn't face my children, I couldn't face my husband, I couldn't face my own self. So at that time, I decided to take some pills, and I said, you know what? I don't want my family to go through this. God said, not yet. I woke up, and I said, okay, now what do I do? There's nothing like a praying mama. Nothing like it. The days that I didn't want to pray for myself, she continued to pray for me. The days that I didn't want to get up out the bed, my children said, hey Ma, come on, let's do this, let's do this. The days that I felt as though I didn't want to look pretty, no shade ladies, I lost some hair, I did. So I said to my husband, I said, well, you're going to love me the same way. My husband said, listen, all the horses is running around here bald. You going to get some more hair. So I do thank everyone, including my phenomenal family, that talk to me the late nights and the early mornings when I'm going through those times. I thank God first and foremost, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be standing before you and able to help other women that go through the same thing that I've been through. I started a nonprofit organization called Souls for the Cure, which helps other women. I mentor them. I help them go through the same thing that I've been through, and I want them to know there's a listening ear. I'll pray for them. I go to the hospice. I talk to them. We make them up to make them feel beautiful, because there is beauty after pain. Thank you again to all the honorees as I stand before all these beautiful ladies. To the Women's Challenge and Cherie Cofield, thank you for honoring me. This award and the awards that you ladies give me is not for me, but everyone else out there. Thank you and have a good night.
Okay, and we have our sickle cell, okay, baby girl, okay.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Nakia Vaughn, and in 2012, my daughter Simone was diagnosed at 6 weeks with sickle cell anemia SS. I called around the city of Baltimore to see where the support groups were, and there were none. Sickle cell is very, very underserved, and it affects 95.9% of African Americans. So instead of me making a big fuss about it, I went ahead and started an organization on behalf of my husband and my daughter called Simone and Friends. So I was working a regular 9 to 5, and I decided to take a leap of faith, and I started the organization. I started trying to get grants, and I wasn't able to get grant money. So I was at the Sickle Cell Conference, and from all of the work that I had been doing, the president of the Maryland Sickle Cell Disease Association came up to me and said, you know, I've heard a lot about you, and we were just awarded a grant, and we would like to know if you would like to take part of that. So I went ahead and I was awarded the grant, and currently I'm a fellow at Johns Hopkins, and I work so hard for my daughter, for my husband. She's also being honored. She's a little shy. She's not shy at home, but. So it can be very challenging when they have crises. Simone has had 3 crises since she's been born. She has to get things like morphine, and she swells up, and it's very, very hard. I work very closely with LifeBridge, and last year she was the first sickle cell patient to be the face of the race for LifeBridge because of all of our hard work. So, you know, because sickle cell is so underserved, I'm very honored and for the Women's Challenge to have recognized us so that we can get our work done. And it's very sad that, unfortunately, sometimes when you speak to doctors or residents, they really don't even have a clue about sickle cell, and I'm treating my child myself in the hospital. So, or the emergency rooms rather. But she gets really great care, and I appreciate everyone coming out tonight. And if you know anyone with sickle cell, or if you have sickle cell, please don't hesitate to give me a call. With the grant, we have a new registry to get everyone connected, and I'm here to serve you. And thank the Lord for being able to bless my family. Have a good evening.
And lastly, we have Sunshine King, who's here. We want to go down and just and surround her because it's so full. We weren't able to transform the venue to have her on stage. So we definitely want to make sure that we surround her. hip replacement, ain't trying to get the other one done. Okay, so, Miss Sunshine. Let me tell you about Miss Sunshine King. You know, I heard her story, and this was not supposed to turn into a long, drawn-out event, but I think it's prudent that we talk about this. Miss Sunshine, domestic violence. So we see what domestic violence can do. So when you know someone, tell someone. So one day, husband wanted to just get rid of Sunshine. She's still living. She's still living. Working, modeling, dancing. So you can dance from the chair. She's a living witness. You can dance from the chair. So what did he do? He runs off into the woods to kill himself because he thought he killed her. She's still living.
Yes, thank you, and thank you so much for this award. This is a good sisterhood. This is such a good beginning, and just understanding what we all go through and went through in life as survivors. Not victims, but as survivors. And I am now celebrating 11 years of life, thank goodness. And I thank God every single day. And every morning I kiss my legs, because it's a joy to still be able to have them. Because I believe one day something may happen, so I have to always be ready. So that's why I encourage health and wellness. I am now a wellness practitioner. I do massage therapy, Reiki, iridology, you name it. I pretty much teach that and do that as a service. And my service is to you because as a survivor of domestic violence, I try my best to make sure that I share my story, but also help heal others. And again, domestic violence, it goes both ways. Men are also survivors and also us ladies. And we have to understand the first key to any relationship, we have to respect ourselves first, and we have to respect each other, because without the lack of communication, all hell can break loose. And if someone actually have a mental illness, which he actually had, and he was suppressing it with other things such as video games, unfortunately, and we don't know what we're going through in life. But if we talk to each other or seek some kind of help, then we won't have to fight those demons by ourselves or with someone else. So the main thing is have that communication there. One thing I was able to do was organize an organization called Sunshine Project Help that stands for Healing, Educating, Loving People. And that's what we do. We help people and other people with survivors of domestic violence as well as spinal cord injury, and that's what I had. On November the 6th, 2004, that's when he attacked me. I was shot in the jaw. The first bullet went inside my right jaw, came out the back of my neck, and the other one gave me a T4, T5 incomplete spinal cord injury, which means